Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest this evening hosts the #1 newscast in the nation, the NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Please welcome Tom Brokaw. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you very much. I know Max is very fit. I see him in the gym every afternoon. He's there working out before he comes here and...
Is that true?
Works out one more time. That's true.
Do you see him naked, or what is he doing? Is he...
Oh, no.
I try not to, actually. It ruins the rest of my day.
I've heard he likes to work out in the nude. That's just what I heard. Congratulations. Everything's, of course, going so well for you. And there's a more recent development, which I find must be a little intimidating even for you, which is now that they're showing the broadcasts of the news that you do on the giant, what is it, the Jumbo Vision?
The Jumbo Vision in Times Square.
In
right?
Times Square, which is a 600-foot-long giant screen that everyone in Times Square must see. And I've passed by in the evening in a cab headed home, and I see you hovering above Times Square.
You know what I often am tempted to do is to lean down and say, Ahmed, he's a very bad tipper. You want to get rid of this guy right now.
Oh, God. Ahmed? Oh, Tom. I would think, though, that this is, I mean, you must be tempted. That must be a huge ego boost. You're up there. I would be tempted to say, people of Earth. We mean you no harm. I mean,
Put away the Mogan David. Get rid of that brown paper bag down there in Times Square. Well, you know, I don't get to see it except on the smaller screen, but it is a little disconcerting for members of my family who are driving along, as you are from time to time, and look up, and it is Big Brother watching.
You don't see it if they put me on that Jumbo Vision screen. That's the only place I'd be. Is down in Times Square. I would be down there. Girls would pass, and I'd be like, nudge. Huh? You know, I would just...
You know what else?
That's sad, I know.
If they put you on that big screen, your sideburns would be down to your navel.
Really? Distorts things a little bit,
A little bit, right.
That's a good look. Talk about dominating the American culture. You're mentioned, I guess, in an episode of Mad About You tonight. Is that right?
I haven't seen it. They have asked my permission. Helen Hunt and I have a mutual admiration society going. We've never met, actually. But there is a little episode tonight in which they're cleaning out a closet, and he comes across an autographed picture of me. It's part of this wonderful special they're doing tonight on how to keep the baby under control by allowing it to cry itself to sleep. And it's every parent goes through this. And what do you do? And they, you know, Dr. Spock and the others say you just have to let this happen. But it's a traumatic experience, so they come up with all kinds of diversions, among them cleaning out the closet and finding the autographed picture of me, which only causes the baby, of course, to squall some more.
The baby is frightened by your autograph photo?
So.
Is that the idea?
I'm not sure.
You know, it's funny because you're not in this episode. They make reference to you, but you have to be careful. The biggest difference between the two of us is that you can't compromise your dignity in any way. My job is pretty much to act like an ass and a boob, but...
I like to think that's the smallest difference between the two.
There are several others, I'm told, something about professionalism and etiquette.
Well, I actually have tried not to do that because I think it does confuse people. And you know, from time to time you're invited to make a cameo appearance in a motion picture or on a television sitcom or whatever. I've always drawn the line because I've said that, you know, people I think have a hard enough time on this medium saying, well, is he serious about what he does and how much of a professional is he? Or is he the actor that we saw the other day in Mad About You or whatever? I was once asked many years ago to be in a film that Robert Redford made called The Candidate. And I chose not to do that, even though we were friends. And so he ended up just using my name. Brokaw was on his way to see the governor, and I was breaking one story after another in the film. But I was the unseen force, so to speak.
So you can make distinctions. Is there anything, though, say after you've retired and you're no longer the voice and the image of NBC News, is there anything that you would like to do that you can't do now?
You mean apart from posing for Playboy? After that...
you wanna pose for Playboy? Seriously?
No, endorsing Harleys? No. No, I don't. I think the only thing that I would like to do is to have more freedom to speak out more publicly about causes that I believe in, environmental causes or charitable or public service causes.
Things that might be a conflict of interest right now. Now, I understand that you're to be congratulated. You have just been inducted into the Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, terrific. Congratulations. That's very great. This is,
I told him I'd trade 2 of those for just 1 ballot in the Baseball Hall of Fame, but I wasn't able to make that kind of a deal with him.
Someday you get enough clout, enough time on the jumbo vision screen, and you'll get what you want.
Exactly right.
What was that like?
Well, it was a great evening, and I said that night, it takes me back to my roots when I was a 15-year-old radio broadcaster in South Dakota in a small town. I worked nights after basketball practice, and I didn't know much about the business, except I did what I was told, and one of the things that I was told to do is that sales were very important at this radio station, and whenever the bell went off in the UPI machine and it signaled that there'd been a highway fatality, my instructions were to interrupt whatever music was on the air and play this pre-recorded tape that would go bong, 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 and then I would come on in my best venereal tones and I would say, "For whom the bell tolls, 38-year-old Peter Sedlacek of Geddes, South Dakota, was killed tonight in a 1-car accident." Bong, 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 and I would say again in my 15-year-old tones, "For whom the bell tolls, Peter Sedlacek, South Dakota's 38th highway fatality of the year." Then there would be a discreet pause, and I would say, "This is a true story," into the microphone. "Are you adequately insured for a complete line of life insurance and car insurance?" Paul Morgan, well, the insurance agency that bought each highway fatality that year almost went broke because we had a lot of people killed on highways that year.
My God.
And it was a sad thing. Listen, I love the stories about Clinton and the dog Buddy.
It's amazing. This is an amazing thing.
It's a long tradition, though, in the White House. You know, FDR had his dog Fowler.
Fowler, that's right, a little Scottish
and then
terrier.
Nixon had, remember, the famous Checkers speech. We were giving the dog Checkers. But then when Nixon was in the White House, this has gone unrecorded so far as I know, he had a dog by the name of King Timoho, which was a red Irish setter, and it was at his side at all times. In fact, in the Haldeman diaries, they talked about Nixon and his clumsiness could not get the damn dog to come over to the desk, so they had all kinds of beefsteak and all manner of things the side of the desk so the dog would come over and be companionable to Richard Nixon. At the height of Watergate.
The dog sensed evil of some kind.
The dog, at the height of Watergate, Nixon is holed up down in San Clemente at his seaside estate there, and things are not going well. The end is near. He's hunkered down in his office. The staff is going to try to cheer him up and convey a jolly message to the nation. So they get a few reporters from the White House press pool and take them down there. And there's this kind of wonderful scene which was captured on camera. The doors open to the president's office. He's sitting there. His idea of being really casual was a maroon blazer and always black, lace-up shoes. And he's sitting there working away, and they say this kind of forced hilarity, "Oh, happy birthday, Mr. President." And they roll in this enormous cake. And why? For me, Nixon says, gets up from behind the desk, goes over to the birthday cake to blow out the candles. And as he steps back, it's clear that he has leaned into the entire cake. He has icing from here down to here. Now, the cameras are rolling. The staff is frozen in fear because they know this is going to go out. And King Timoho comes over and begins to lick the icing off the President of the United States in long, sweeping swipes. So it didn't quite work out the way that they'd hoped that it would.
No,
and shortly after
not the photo op they wanted.
Shortly after that, the Supreme Court ruled against him, and we always thought that King Timoho had something to do with it.
Probably a very important dog in the history of American politics. Of course, the NBC Nightly News, as if I have to mention it with Tom Brokaw, is Monday through Friday nights on NBC. Thanks so much for stopping by, and happy holidays.
Thank you very much.
Happy holidays. Tom Brokaw, everybody. Jerry O'Connell coming up. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.